Hi guys, my name is Hunter Ross, and this is the start of my YouTube channel. So this I'm gonna do a little build series on my B15 Spec V. This is a 2006 Nissan Sentra SER Spec V that I've owned for about 5 years now. It was my daily driver for about 4 years. It's got a couple modifications done to it. Got a cold air intake. I've got a full 3-inch exhaust system, and I have some Willwood 6-piston brakes, 2-piece brake rotors. So it's seen its fair share of wear and tear. You know, it's been the trusty stallion for many years, and I just recently bought it back after having sold it to a buddy of mine. I had a C4 Corvette, a 1996, and I was just wanting to, I figured that was a better platform to, put some money into, and it turns out I just really like these early 2000s Nissan JDM Econo boxes for whatever odd reason. So kind of some plans for the build. So I've got a new, used engine from JDM of California. Fantastic people to work with, quick shipping, good prices. Comes with paperwork. This motor's got 49,000 miles on it. As you can see, it's exceptionally clean for being a JDM motor as compared to my engine, which has had a horrific valve cover leak for, I don't know, a year or so now. So yeah, we're going to slap a 2J Racing built cylinder head on there. It's got JWT John Wolf Technology C1 cams. It's got upgraded valves, upgraded springs, retainers, that kind of stuff. And we're basically just going to be doing a top-end build on this engine to go in this car. This car's got 222,000 miles on it and has been insanely dependable. I know a lot of people give the QR25DEs a lot of slack. They're not seen as good performance engines, and I kind of beg to disagree. I feel like with the right mods and the right care, these are just as dependable as every other engine. So, do they have a couple of issues right out of the box? Yeah, pre-cat in the exhaust manifold breaks up, sends ceramic particles back into the cylinder, scores cylinder wall, and causes oil usage. Well, that's pretty easy. You just shove a Medusa racing header on there. Put an oil catch can on it, so that way you can monitor how much oil the engine's using. And then really the only other part is the butterfly valves in the intake manifold. They have a tendency, the valves themselves are held in by some M3 screws, and those screws have a tendency to back themselves out at different engine vibrations and RPMs, and those can get ingested into the motor and obviously cause, a bunch of damage. It's not good if your engine eats, some stainless steel screws. So you Loctite those screws, you delete the pre-cat, and these things are good. I've beat the piss out of this car. I bought it with 109,000 miles on it. I sold it to my buddy who drove it the same way I did at 202,000. It's got 221 now. So, put over 100,000 hard miles on this. Have taken it to Chicago. I live in central Missouri, so it's about an 8.5, 9-hour drive. Taken it to Chicago many times. Down to Arkansas, just really all over. Just neglecting this thing, and it just keeps trucking away. So, I figured that it deserved a new heart, something that I would be able to fully romp on. I mean, I fully romped on the other engine, but something that would just maybe handle the power a little bit better. And for autocross, actually, I was very competitive in my autocross class. I raced in SMF, which was way too high of a class for me. My first year out, and I won the class. I had 4 first place victories in a row, and then ended the season off on 2 second places, but won the class. So I figure if I can do that with a stock engine with 200,000 miles on it, and really just Willwoods and a 3-inch exhaust, which is way too big for this engine, I figured why not actually throw some money into it. So This is just kind of like a build breakdown of what my plans are to do. So built 2J cylinder head, stock bottom end, so that way if anything happens, I can just order a new motor, throw my good cylinder head on it, call it a day. They come with a lot of goodies, so I'm very excited about that. I don't need 3/4 of the stuff that's on this thing. We're going to new clutch, lightweight flywheel. It's a stage 1 clutch, I think. You know, fuel pump injectors, that kind of stuff. It's got a ton of miles on it. We're going to be doing some suspension goodies, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to run BC racing coilovers, which is what I was originally planning on running with the Swift Spring upgrades. Custom valving, so that way it doesn't ride like absolute shit like my GC8 Impreza Coupe rides like with some stock BCs. Gonna get a full respray, going back with black, just because I don't feel like, you know, painting door jambs and all that. I'm a painter for a living, so, you know, I'm going to go back with a black, maybe with a little bit of metallic flake in there. Just some light interior upgrades. You know, the rear seats are faded, the driver's seat's torn, you know, so just kind of light stuff like that. I mean, the hood looks like crap, and the front bumper has seen better days. It was like that when I bought it. So yeah, just going to do basically a mechanical restoration of this car. Got new lower control arms with bushings, inner and outer sway bar, or inner and outer tie rod ends. We're going to be deleting the front sway bar, which I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, why would you delete the front sway bar? Well, whenever you have a front wheel drive car, you delete the front sway bar. And you add a very, very stiff sway bar in the rear. That causes the rear to be stiffer and more likely to have the tendency to oversteer, which will correct the inherent understeer of a front-wheel drive car. So that's how you get it to rotate. I've had my sway bar just disconnected in the front for a couple years now. And so we're going to be fully deleting it, taking it out. You know, that's 30 pounds of metal plus all the extra, you know, the end links and bushings and brackets and all that stuff. So it'll be 30 to 35 pounds taken out. And then we'll be putting the big, big, stiff rear sway bar in the rear, courtesy of 2J Racing out of Cumming, Georgia. So, yeah, ignore the dirt bike tires and Corvette roof there. But, yeah, going to be throwing some silver stocks back on, going to be redoing all the brakes, rebuilding the wheel woods just because they've been on there for 3 years. And I feel like it's a good thing to do while the car's going to be down for a little bit. So yeah, that is that's kind of it. As you can see, sorry, I know I'm walking around a bunch. This is my first YouTube video. I've hoarded quite the part collection for this particular car. So, yeah, got a ton of parts. Got a bunch of internal engine parts, radios and interior parts, some miscellaneous, just a ton of stuff. This is the goodies right here. It's fully built, complete with custom cams, 2J Racing cylinder head. So we're going to be throwing that on that block over there. And yeah, that should pretty much be it. I don't want to go too crazy. I was originally going to go like insane on this car, but having driven a car that someone went insane on that I took back, you know, that car was completely gutted on the interior, had no dash, no nothing. It was full-fledged race car. It's got Heim joint suspension all the way around, BC Racing coilovers. It's got WRX brakes. It's just, it was intense. And I put an interior back in it just to make it more enjoyable to drive. And I just really like driving that car. It makes me really miss driving this car. So goal is hopefully to get the engine thrown in the next couple weeks, which will be, I don't know, however long for you guys. I'm hoping not to do a bunch of edits and stuff like that. You know, I'm just one guy actually in a storage unit. So I rent this big old storage unit, and the guy is super cool. Lets me mechanic on stuff. So yeah, that should be it. So, and to prove to you guys how reliable this car is, it's been sitting for about a month I have not started it. I'm really hoping that the whole not going to edit videos things doesn't screw me and it starts up first try. Buddy put this aftermarket radio in. Nathan, I love you, but this radio is shit. So. There you go. Check engine lights on. Washer fluid lights on, but does it burn oil? Absolutely, they all do. But this is a full 3-inch exhaust I made custom for this car, so it's got a little pop tune on it, nothing too bad, but hey, my diff works. Sweet, that's awesome. Yeah, let's give it some revs for you guys. As you can tell, it's pretty loud. 3-inch exhaust, hard mounted to the body. Ooh, some oil smoke going on. I guess that's what happens whenever you redline it on a cold start after it's been sitting for a month. But yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. 221,461 miles. So that's going to be the last rev I believe this tired engine is going to see. So I'm going to pull it out, make a table out of it. But yeah, little build breakdown on what the plan is so far. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.